This thing you see right here, it's called a bobbin. It is used to make a coil for the coil disc, and I'll describe it to you. This is a 5/16 bolt, a nut, a lock washer, and a washer. The other side has the same thing, except for it's the head of the bolt. And it's PVC pipe. Now you can see the PVC pipe is wider than the bolt, and what I did, so it wouldn't move around back and forth, the PVC pipe wouldn't, I stuck nuts and lock washers. I stuck them in here, okay, so it would be much less, it would move much less. Then I took some masking tape and wrapped around the nuts and the lock washers, or wrapped it around enough so that I could still slide this on, but it would be a pretty snug fit, okay? And the nuts and the lock washers go almost to the top here, almost to the top of this PVC pipe, almost all the way from here to there. What else? Okay. And this is it's called a worm gear motor. I guess a worm gear is like, has a bunch of different gears in it inside of this part right here, this part. And this is a 1/4 inch shaft right here, 1/4 inch shaft, 12 volt. Like I said, I think it turns 10 revolutions per minute. Turns around 10 times, the shaft does, in a minute, I mean. And anyway, I can't exactly connect these together with a thing called a coupling, okay? A coupling. This is a 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch coupling. It would fit around this, but it won't fit to this. I'm either gonna get a coupling that can adapt these two, can make them both fit together, you know, 1/4 inch on one side, the other side a 5/16, or I'm gonna weld a 1/4 inch bolt to this right here, and then I'll just get a longer bolt, or a threaded rod, a 5/16 threaded rod, or a longer bolt. And if it's a longer bolt, I'll cut the head off, and then I'll put a nut on this side, because when this part is welded, or here, when this part is welded, I'm probably not going to be able to get this nut off. So I'm going to take it off this side instead. Take off this disc, I mean. I'll take off the nut, and then take off this disc, so I can get the coil out when I make the coil, after the coil's done, I mean. What else? Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo the PVC pipe, because I did not get the exact. I cut it slightly at an angle. I used a hacksaw blade. I need to cut it straight down, but I didn't. I did a little bit of an angle. This isn't exactly the size that I want all the way around. It's, and one side it's pretty good, but if I turn it more and measure it again, it's a little bit short. So the coil's not going to be very even. It can be somewhat a little bit off, you know, I'm not worried about it, but this is more than that is acceptable. So I'm going to have to redo the size of this. And I got extra lock washers, so I can adjust the distance here. And I'm probably going to have to use one of these right here, one of these clamps right here, to hold this gear, this motor, onto a 2x4. I'm probably going to put a clamp over this end, or maybe part of this end or something, because it's got to be held down, and the 2x4 might have to be you might have to use some other clamp to hold it down to a heavy item or something, because when this thing is turning this bobbin, and this thing actually, motor may not stay down on the ground or wherever it's at, so I might have to attach the if this is attached to a 2x4, I might have to attach the 2x4 to something else so that this thing will stay in its place and not move around, or because it may do that. Anyway, and I'm not going to say much more about it. I just wanted to show you the bobbin, and that's about it. This little chip here was because I didn't have enough material. It doesn't affect anything. And also there's a little groove in here. Little groove, you can probably see it. I'm going to take some white out and mark exactly the maximum distance outward, how wide. In other words, how wide I want the coil to be. I don't somewhere along this line I'm going to put some white out, like a little small line, so that I'll know where I need to stop winding the coil. And I'll probably use something like this. This is multi-purpose adhesive. This is very good. It works fine for me. The directions say something else, but I think I've already used this before, so I might just use that again. So you can see the size of this bobbin. Now look at the size of the coils that are in here. Okay, this is the size of the coils in here, and this is the bobbin. Okay.